I think initially it was getting people to believe in a young candidate. You know, he is 27, and now he's the youngest Democrat in the United States right now, the youngest Democratic nominee in the United States.
You jump out on a limb and you see if you're gonna land, and you hope you're gonna land. Like, you're like the little bird jumps out of the nest and hope you can fly, and if you do, you do, and if you don't, well, it's a long fall. This kind of feels like that.
So our canvassing is largely targeted towards Republicans and independents because we have to make up 50,000 votes, and that's got to come from somewhere, and it's not going to come from Democrats necessarily. So we got to make it up in other places, and that's why we're out canvassing to, you know, doing the really hard work and canvassing to people on the other side of the aisle, but we're not afraid of it. So I appreciate everybody doing this today and being out here. You know, every vote matters.
Largely, they're not willing to even, you know, open the conversation. So doing things, simple things like wearing red and, you know, changing the phrasing a little bit kind of indicates, like, you know, we hear you, you know, and we can appeal to you through the language you know. Now, you know, you have an opportunity to hear us, you know, for real.
We've knocked and phone banked and texted over 68,000 Republicans in the past, since the primary, which I don't think any Democratic candidate has ever done here before. And we're not afraid to, you know, try and reach across that aisle.
You know, it's one of those things where early on we had to fake it till we make it. Like, fake it till you make it, always. And we looked bigger than we were. We looked more powerful than we were. And we got people to believe that we were going to be able to do it, and it happened. We've been called crazy and radical and like naive and all these different things, and it's like, are we fighting for things that are crazy or radical or naive? No. Like, we're just fighting to make sure that, like, if your kid gets cancer, you don't go bankrupt. Like, over 40% of people within 2 years lose their entire life savings just because their kid got cancer. I mean, we're fighting to make sure that, you know, Gainesville doesn't become beachfront property. I am tired of just sitting here and watching the world go by and not trying to progress, because if you don't progress, things fall apart. And that's where we are, is we have just let them fall apart for years, and we gotta do something. Even if it's the wrong thing, at least we tried.
At this point, politics has become such a power game and such an act of manipulation in large parties that these communities are just destroyed and left behind, and like, we've created such divisive narratives.
It's time that we not just come out and say what we want, we demand it and we force it. Because what I see right here is power. It is people that understand their worth. It is people who understand that the only way that things change is not only by saying it, not only by electing people, but then holding their feet to the damn fire.
So the next couple of days are about to be very, very crazy. We'll be out canvassing for hours to Republicans and non-party affiliations.
We have a playbook for a Democratic campaign that is designed just to reach out to Republicans and independent voters. We have different t-shirts, we have different literature, we have different texts that go to them, and it's all tailored to these groups that differ from us ideologically.
Tuesday is a huge turning point, like not just for us, but for everyone in the country. And so I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And I think until then, all of us are just working. We are just putting our heads down and really trying to finish this thing.
Tuesday is going to be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift, you know, sign waving, talking to voters, making sure that voters have water and other supplies while they're waiting in these long lines.
A former advisor to Barack Obama came out in a paper and said that there isn't a single Democrat in the country that he thinks could win this seat. As far as I'm concerned, what we've already accomplished is more than any other Democrat in the entire country could have. And on top of that, we raised more money than anyone else has ever raised in this district from small dollar contributions. Our average contribution was $21. On top of that, we ran an entire campaign with college kids with almost no political experience based off of ideas, and we've refused to compromise in our beliefs. That's a win.
We have cut the margins down so much. We have made it to maybe in 2 years, you know what, some Democrat will win. Whether it's Adam, whether it's someone else, we have cut those margins and we have made at least this many Republicans willing to listen to us and willing to recognize that we are here to support them.
Where are you seeing that?
Political. This is political.
Oh, we're having fun. Oh yeah. No, we got we got probably close to 50 people here. We're enjoying it. All from our team.
How are you feeling?
It takes 100 of us to get one of us through. Like 100 of us running so that one of us can get through.
So I don't know if y'all realize this, but we are going to get the most amount of votes that any Democrat has ever gotten in this area, and it's not even going to be close. Like, it's going to be like 40,000 votes more. So we were always a long shot. Like, they always said it was impossible, and they said it was never going to even come close. And they said we would, honestly, they thought we'd get maybe 40%. So what y'all did, phenomenal. Like, I could not be more proud. So thank you all for all the hard work for the last 10 months.
And, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows, even maybe 2 years from now, I can't wait to be in DC and be seeing you all there. Because I know you all are so talented.
The firepower of the people on our team, my God, like they are going to be running everything in the next 20 years. The campaigns you're going to hear about that are special, it's them. Like they're going to be the big names in the entire industry. Like they are going to be the ones. And people are going to look back and say, where did you get your start? And they're going to trace it back to this thing, win or lose. And they're going to be like, that is what pushed me to do this. And that is how you get, it's a snowball. You push it down the hill and you hope it just keeps building and building and building. And I think it's gonna. We were the push.